guys, we now live in another timeline where we quite possibly have the biggest, what do you call it? Box office, that's the word. The biggest box office flop in superhero cinematic history with the release of Madam Web this past weekend, getting a 13% critic score on Rotten Tomato and a 43% audience score. More on that soon. Let's talk Nerdum. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Talking Nerds. My name is Biggie. As always, I'm joined by my fellow nerds, the Blue Man and Bick the Buffalo. That's you.
I raised my hand too early. Sorry.
You raised your hoof too early over there. Hi guys. How you guys doing?
Oh, great.
Not bad.
Not too bad. We also have a special guest appearance tonight. You know him as the Flash. We're still trying to figure out who he really is. He never shows his face, but being the fastest man alive somehow still shows up an hour late every time. But catch him later, as we have some fun things to talk about tonight. But before we do that, let's get into our weeks. What have you guys been up to? Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, I'll take that. Well, tonight is a special night because I'm drinking something on the show.
He's drinking, and I'm drinking water.
It's not milk.
Yeah,
I'm
drinking some water too.
Here, pass it back. Pass it over here. Don't
Wait,
sorry. Thank you. Yeah, you just
You're
passed this
welcome.
over.
Yes, I passed my alcoholism to you tonight.
Yeah, it is the Cryo Ranger, however you want to say that.
Cryo.
I know people who say Cryo. Some people say
I think it's
Cryo.
Cryo. It's Cryo hops. I think that's kind of the term. It's
Well,
for IPAs specifically.
This skeleton's frozen. Okay, it's cold, ice cold in my hand. Feels great.
Cold boy,
It's a cold boy, not a tall boy, but a cold boy.
not a tall one.
Be cracking open this bad boy today.
That's what she said.
Yep, and
Not a tall one, but a cold one.
all right, that's it. See you guys later. Let's see. I had a great week. I actually had the boys over.
You have your voice
last
back
week.
too.
My voice is back. I'm not in the background producing.
No, you're in
I'm
the foreground
front
producing.
Yeah. And I got to have Buffalo, Bick, and Biggie over last weekend. That was a lot of fun. Watched some anime. I'm sure we'll hear more about that.
Yes, we will.
And this week, what did I do? Oh,
Where am I?
really a
What?
nerd.
What?
Sound like Joe Biden.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
You ain't black. No. So I watched not a nerd movie, but I did watch La La Land, which is one of my favorite movies.
Nice.
Came out in
Really?
2016, but is one of my favorite movies.
It's a good one.
It's a very deep and layered movie. If you're into like looking into themes and picking up on foreshadowing and artistic stuff like that, motifs, themes, all of that jazz, there are, I would say, hundreds in that movie. There are so many, even little moments where it's an incredible movie. I really don't understand why a lot of people didn't like it.
I didn't like the ending.
I like the ending, but I like the ending. That might be the hot take. I love the movie and I like the ending. So,
Okay.
yeah, so I watched that with my wife.
Nice.
And then haven't done really any gaming. Oh, that's not true. Me and Biggie played some For Honor a little bit.
We did.
When he
True.
was over here.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun showing him the game, showing him the ropes. It had been a little while for me, but it was a lot of fun showing all of the executions.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
And you actually ended up getting the game. So
I got a $100 game for $20. How about that, guys?
How about that?
What a steal!
What a steal! Steal from Ubisoft.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
they steal our money
that a
because they
little
get crap games usually.
yeah.
Wait, sorry, that's Bethesda. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, though, I haven't really done any solo gaming. Elden Ring is still on the forefront of my mind, and we'll get to that more.
Yep.
And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. For my
I like how
my
you
work
look
week.
around. What else
I
did
know.
do?
I'm trying to find. I just been working so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. As long as I am trying to continue to upgrade the producing of this show, the less I'll have to game, and that's okay. We're gonna try to give you guys the best that we've got all the time, and that's okay. So,
Well,
what about
once we get like smooth sailing, then you'll have more
yeah.
time
oh, sailing. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
What about you,
Through-
Buffalo?
through all the rocks. We're just
Yeah, right.
at
There's a
least we're
hole.
sailing.
Constantly patching the boat up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my glasses off. I realized there's a giant glare in them.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it was a good week. We went over to Bluey's house. So we started. Well, for me, started Attack
Yes.
on Titan.
Woo!
We watched the first
I wish I
episode.
had my clap. Woo! Finally.
It was good. It was good, and I was going to continue the show, but I would say I was definitely very hooked after we Nathan or Biggie. Sorry, I said your real name.
Name drop. Cut that out. Cut that out. Someone cut that.
Came over Saturday and we binge watched like 6 more episodes or something. And so
Yep.
now I'll say I'm officially hooked.
The nice
after
thing is
getting-
it gets hardcore literally right away, so you don't need to wait very long. So
Yeah, there's no like first season waiting period or like it's the
It's
first
not- yeah.
episode.
pretty much.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to when they become better quality, but even what they are now in the first season is enjoyable. There's nothing that like
Do you
Yeah.
a couple questions for you. One, do you remember most of the characters' names? And two, who's your favorite character right now?
I don't know if I have a favorite character yet. Aaron. We got Aaron. We got Armin. We got Mikasa.
Mikasa.
the-
Hey, good job. Nice.
Hey, you
nice.
got
The
the
three
you got the
main
you got the
characters.
three.
But the Japanese name.
Look at that.
Yeah, and Sasha. I remember because she's really
Sasha.
funny.
Potato girl.
She's hilarious.
Potato girl. One of my favorite.
I forgot how funny her introduction is too. It's so
characters. So
funny.
Yeah.
She's hilarious.
Literally like my spirit animal. Like
pretty much.
Yeah,
I love Sasha.
pretty funny. I don't remember a whole lot of others. There was John. I remember,
John,
but he's
yeah.
an a-hole right now.
Yep. It's the French pronunciation though. It's Jean, so it's John.
Okay.
Jean.
Yep. Jean.
John.
He's one of my favorite characters easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Have you guys met or have they met
Levi?
Connie?
Yes,
Connie,
Connie's
yeah.
introduced. Literally, everybody's introduced in the first or second episode, I guess.
Annie?
Annie's introduced right away.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is she the
Levi-
blonde?
Yeah,
girl? Who's the blonde?
yeah.
Yeah.
With the bond, yeah. Levi's shown in episode 4, but he doesn't speak, and it's a really quick. It's a little quick thing, but I was like, best character in the show. Just you wait. Just you.
What
wait.
about
Technically, you did see the clip that we showed you of Levi, so you have seen him in action a bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I don't know if I have a favorite character yet, just because I'm still getting into it. But I would say the funniest character is definitely Sasha so far. But
yeah, I'd say she pretty much maintains that role. It gets less funny though throughout the show.
I know. I think Hanj can be funny.
Hanji, yeah. She's pretty funny too. Yeah, but in a different way,
Yeah.
a very different way. Yep. Ooh, I can't
Oh
wait.
boy, honey, you got a big storm coming.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And I'm about to start My Hero Academia, so we both have some big animes ahead of us here.
Ooh-wee.
But yeah.
Nice.
Anything
Yeah,
else?
so that was pretty much most of my week there. But and we bought a house.
And you bought a house. Woo!
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, side note.
Yeah.
No, congrats.
Yeah,
I wish
yeah.
I could do the clapping thing. But yes, that was the big news
That
from
was
last
the
week. It
big
made it
news.
sound like somebody died, but
No,
No.
just half the
Ish.
characters in Attack on Titan. That's it. Just died.
There you go. I said if they don't have a name, they're usually gone. So
Yeah.
Uh,
And the guy with the chops. Yeah, that was.
yeah, I don't even know his name.
I don't
But
remember
yeah.
the name.
I forgot about him as a character. So nice. Well, I have been playing, surprise, surprise, a ton of God of War, and I'm loving it. It is a lot of fun. I'm getting all the loot, getting all the the treasure chests that I can. And
too much yesterday. No, I'm kidding.
well, I was getting into some hard spots, but I've only switched to like medium difficulty like twice, I think. So, I'm sticking to it. But yeah, other than that, I was sick last week, so I had some time on my hands and decided to watch a bunch of Batman movies. So I rewatched Batman 89, Batman Returns. Still like 5-star movies. I love those movies so much. Of course, you got Jack Nicholson, Joker, iconic. He's the gangster Joker in cinema. He's fantastic. You got Danny DeVito, Penguin, who's freaking creepy and probably the weirdest rendition of Penguin ever in live action, but it works somehow. And of course, you got Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman. And it all works because it's Tim Burton. And that was kind of the sad part. I don't think I actually have ever seen beyond those movies in that universe. Because I did watch Batman Forever, which I'll talk about in a bit here. But yeah, the first two movies were Tim Burton and Michael Keaton as Batman. First of all, Michael Keaton is probably my favorite Bruce Wayne. I think he's flawless in the role of Bruce Wayne. He's got the suave down. He's got the playboy down. He's an effortless actor. He's a great actor. And of course he is iconic as Batman, but rewatching them, I'm like, wow, he's not that great as Batman, to be completely honest. And part of it is the costume is very restrictive. He's always like, because he can't move his neck, it's very obviously 80s, early 90s. So, there were some restrictions on the role, but still great Batman. I would not say he's the best Batman though, but probably my favorite Bruce Wayne. I love those movies so much. And just, yeah, Tim Burton, great director. Perfect for Batman. Unfortunately, he did not stick around, or there were some creative differences for Batman Forever, and they decided that Tim Burton was too dark for Batman, which was ironic, because they wanted to be more family-oriented films. And so they got this Joel Schumacher on instead of, and I think Burton just executive produced or something like that. But Keaton apparently had some like creative differences with Schumacher. He liked more Burton style, so he left. So Val Kilmer took over the role. And so it was weird. It's like same character, same universe, everything, same Alfred, but it was just a new Bruce Wayne. And he's not that great as Bruce Wayne. Honestly, he kind of sucks actually. Not the worst Bruce Wayne. I'll get to him in a second. But definitely probably on the lower tier. But his Batman's actually pretty decent. I will say I did actually enjoy his Batman. The movie Batman Forever definitely took a downward spiral from the Burton films. I gave it a 3.5. Again, I don't think I've ever actually seen it. I think I've seen parts of it. But of course, you got some iconic things about it. You got Tommy Lee Jones, Two-Face, great. You got Jim Carrey, Riddler. I mean, he was born for that role. And it was super cheesy. Obviously, the other ones are, they kind of got some cheese to them. But this was like, it kind of felt more like a 66 Batman in a way. Not quite there yet. But I think what I really liked about it is kind of the 90s nostalgia and kind of the atmosphere of it, Arkham, or not Arkham, Gotham was really cool. It felt like, I don't know. It just felt very nostalgic to me. It just felt very Batman. And, part of Batman is dark. Part of it is also kind of like comic book, like, cheesiness. And that's okay. That's part of it. Which is what I appreciate more about those films than like the Nolan movies, for instance. So that one, I enjoyed it. It was definitely not a perfect movie. And I remember parts of it, but I definitely never saw the whole thing. Then I got to Batman and Robin. And this is the infamous George Clooney Batman movie. I know I've never seen this one. And I know why, because it's pretty raunchy, actually. So we were probably never allowed to watch it. You also got... The cheese is like next level. It's like CW level. It is full 66 Batman. Robin is in Batman Forever, but he's like, in all of this one, full Robin. They got the bat nipples and everything. It's just like they were doing at the very beginning, showing shots of them suiting up, and they just did a bunch of butt shots of them in their spandex. I was like, this is funny, but why? Why is this necessary? But I guess, that was the 90s, I guess. I don't know. Of course, you got some iconic Mr. Freeze lines. Nice to see you. That it's back when Schwarzenegger was in every single action movie, it's pretty rough. Of course, you got Uma Thurman, Poison Ivy, who's, she's hot. She's Uma Thurman and all, but very cringy. And just like the whole, like, scenes where she's trying to like seduce everybody. It's just like, this would never happen. I get it. It's Poison Ivy, but like, it's just so stupid. It's just, they didn't do a very good job on this one. I haven't finished it yet, but probably going to give it a pretty low score. So first time seeing it. Also, Bane is in this movie, and the weirdest version of Bane I have ever seen. Go look up Bane and Batman and Robin. You'll see what I mean. He's basically like a Mexican wrestler, like like Nacho Libre. It felt like Nacho Libre, but he was an oaf. He couldn't talk. So it was kind of silly. Poison Ivy's kind of the main character, or the main antagonist, though, and it kind of makes Mr. Freeze an oaf too. It's just a weird movie. It's a weird movie. It felt like a fever dream, But yeah, I'll probably finish that sometime this week. So yeah, I watched a bunch of Batman movies, and have you guys ever watched the Batman movies? Because I would definitely recommend at least 89 and Batman Returns. You guys need to watch those movies. They're
only
phenomenal.
The Nolan ones.
Gotta watch them.
I don't think
They're classics. Yeah. So I love I love those movies. And that's pretty much it. I'm pretty far into Last Airbender now. I'm like halfway through season 3, so I'm getting close to the end. Very close. Which is a good thing because we actually got a lot of stuff coming up here. I just realized Bad Batch season 2 is coming out like next week, or season 3. Season 3. We got Demon Slayer new arc coming out this week. We got Last Airbender coming out pretty sure next week. So yeah, literally all this stuff is happening right now. Of course, we had Madam Web, which unfortunately I didn't get to go see it. Yeah,
and I think you should, before you get to that, one more exciting thing,
yes, which if you share my screen here, I'll just throw it up there. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree official gameplay reveal trailer in 12 hours. in 12 hours. Praise the sun. That's right. Guys, we are finally here. It was so random. I just decided to check the Elden Ring Discord server, and I saw this. I'm like, I literally spit out my water. Like, what? This is happening right now? But, I mean, it makes sense. It was pretty well speculated it would come out around the anniversary of Elden Ring 2 years ago, which is in 4 days.
4 days.
5 days. Yeah, 4 days tomorrow. So, yes, as you can see, 17,000 people are waiting for a 3-minute trailer.
That
which,
happens in 12 hours.
That happens in 12 hours. So we're very hyped. Don't know what it's going to be. 3 minutes is actually a pretty long time. So it's not a teaser. And, we're
Not a
pretty... It's not a joke.
Not a joke.
And we do expect this to be a huge DLC. So, I mean,
I was
literally...
I was telling Biggie, I think this might be like a second game. I mean,
And yeah,
DLCs
based on what
don't
we've...
take 2 years. You know what I mean? Right.
Well,
they can,
FromSoft
right?
is infamous for taking them a while to cook up their
Sure,
stuff,
sure. But this game was so massive, and I think
Yeah.
just they're really gonna give us their best, and I think part of that, like to do it justice, is gonna have to be almost an entire game.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, yeah,
I'm pretty excited.
It was highly rumored it'd be the size of Bloodborne's map. I bet it's going to be even bigger than that. So we'll see. And it'll probably have a whole another underground area too, I'm sure. So we're hyped. Sorry, God of War, you're going to be taking a backseat as this releases.
There's also rumors that it's going to be a shadow release, meaning it'll be released on the anniversary, real quick. Like this might not take much longer to wait. Like that's why people are so excited for this.
Which kind of blows because I'm going to be on a work trip next week, which by the way, we will not be streaming next Tuesday because I will be out. But so I might be literally gone right when this drops, which is going to be a shame. But who knows? I'll bring my laptop. Maybe I can game in the hotel. Although I do kind of want to stream it though. I do. Actually, I should stream it. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so that's some exciting news. Also, in the world of entertainment, I did mention this at the very beginning, but here are the Rotten Tomato scores for Madam Web, which just released last weekend. So all critics 13%, top critics is 15%, verified audience 56%, and all audience 43%. Not great numbers all around for Madam Web, and the numbers also reflect this. So Madam Web gets Squished, posts worse opening day box office than Morbius and the Marvels. And you know how we talk about the Marvels all the time.
And Morbin time.
And it's Morbin. It's Madam time.
It's Madam Morb time.
The stuff where all the girls were dressed up like in their actual Spider-Man costumes was a vision, apparently. So that was a bait and switch. You didn't actually really see any Spider-Man stuff except for what's his face? Ezekiel. Who they totally butchered as a character. I'm still gonna go see it because I want to see it. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know when I'm gonna get around to it. So the opening day box office numbers for Madam Web are in. And to the surprise of absolutely no one, very, very few audiences were interested. By the way, Dakota Johnson doesn't know anything about Spider-Man, literally at all. I haven't watched any of it, but the red carpet stuff is actually more entertaining than the movie itself. So
is it too much to ask to research? Okay, hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out. I know it's okay to not know a lot of things coming into a role, right?
Yeah.
You might be the perfect person to play it. You might look just like the comic book character. You might have personality traits just like the comic book character, and you might know absolutely nothing about the comic book character. However, problem is, my opinion, if you're going to then portray that comic book character, wouldn't you think maybe I should read some of the comics and the material?
Probably.
Or understand what the character is like? Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know how Sony works, but at Marvel, at least, they basically prohibit you from doing that. So, as an actor,
Sure.
Um,
But what I'm saying is like, as like to be a good actor, like you have to understand the character that you're playing, especially if they already exist. You know, if it's a new character, obviously there's a little nuance there. But like if it's a character that already exists in a different form of media, or you're reprising the role, like you got to do your research, man.
However, the role of Madam Web is actually an elderly cripple in the comic books, so they took a very different approach.
Yeah, she's
in the
not
movie.
old.
So yeah, you know, I guess you could read up on it, but it doesn't really matter because it's basically a completely different story altogether, just with the same name. So box office numbers, the numbers. Where'd it go? Dakota Johnson led Bait and Switch managed to pull in only roughly $6 million last weekend. Roughly $1,500 from each of the 4,013 domestic theaters which screened it on opening night in its Valentine's Day debut. But to truly sell how big of a disaster this is, one would do best to compare Madam Web performance against those of its direct competitors. All right, so staying on the studio lot, Sony's previous Spider-Man spinoff, Morbius, managed to pull in just over $11.6 million, a pull of approximately $4,055 per each of the 4268 theaters it premiered in before close on its opening night. Over at Marvel Studios, the Marvel, which is their biggest box office bomb, despite the already low interest among theaters, audiences in the continued adventures of the MCU, ended its debut night with $15 million from across 4,030 theaters. So, yeah, just a little bit more than Morbius.
When you do the math on that, the Madam Web, what was it, 1,500 per theater?
Oh, we'll do the math is down here, but
okay, I was gonna say
feel free.
That if you, I don't know, let's say is $15 a ticket too much? I don't know. That's what it feels like it is these days.
It might even be more than that on average.
If it's $15, that's 100 tickets. I mean, that's crazy.
Yep. And while the abysmal quality of Morbius undoubtedly led some audiences to skip a trip to the theater, the film ultimately ended its premiere night with less than half the success of most of his widely panned peers suggest that no one outside the internet, critics, and diehard Marvel consumers have had any interest in Madam Web. Lending further credence to this theory is the fact that the film has suffered an absolutely astonishing second-day drop-off. By the way, I don't know if they talk about it. Okay, I guess they do here, yeah. By the end of day on February 15th, Madam Web had managed to pull in just $537 per theater for a grand total of only $2.2 million roughly. And if that wasn't enough financial trouble, while the film having reportedly cost only $80 million to produce, which, I mean, most of these movies have ridiculously bloated budgets, so at least there's that. They did spend a lot more on marketing than actually. I think they spent $100 million on marketing, which is bizarre because I think I saw one trailer for this. It only cost $80 million to produce. Thus, according to the standard total budget calculation of double the public numbers, $160 million in total to basically break even. This lack of audience enthusiasm suggests it will ultimately be unable to come anywhere close to breaking even, let alone making anything resembling actual profit. So this is our new standard on Talking Nerds of making money is more than Madam Web. As noted above, while these box office results are objectively disastrous, they do not in the least come as a surprise. Yeah, so that's this is what she looks like actually in the comics. We can show you right there. Very different. So yeah,
Johnson, is that you?
There you have it. It's estimated to make I think it was about $20 million or something like that overall. 20, 30 or something, maybe more. Over the course of its existence in theaters, but it needs about 160 million to break even. So you don't really see movies breaking even anymore, it seems, which is a good thing. Let them all burn to the ground.
It's almost like there's a theme.
Yeah, I don't know.
Talking about.
In more Marvel news, we got. I mean, we already talked about this. It was pretty well rumored, but it was officially announced last week on Valentine's Day from Marvel Studios, the upcoming cast of Fantastic Four. Pedro Pascal, of course, as Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, and Joseph Quinn as Human Torch, and Eban Mas Bachrach as the Thing. So there you guys have it. Pretty honestly, I'm not complaining. I get the only complaint would be Pedro Pascal. Overall, I think actually pretty decent casting. So, maybe once they get it right, but of course the script will be probably really bad. I bet by the end, Sue Storm's gonna be smarter than Reed Richards. Some BS like that. Or they're going to say Riri Williams is the smartest person in the MCU, which is a joke. Reed Richards is famously the smartest person in the Marvel Universe, hands down. But sadly, it's Pedro Pascal, so I can't really believe that. But, so there you go. July 25th, 2025 is the release date for that movie. So, yeah, we'll see. And then, of course, another thing that's releasing literally in pretty quick here, March 20th, is X-Men 97. And we're going to watch the trailer here in a bit. But I've never actually watched X-Men the animated series. I don't know if you guys have. That was one of the ones I never watched growing up. So this is the new show that basically takes place literally right immediately after X-Men the animated series. From the trailer, everything appears all right, but then you dig a little deeper, which we'll get into right after we watch this trailer. Can you hear it?
Series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
I'm grateful to.
So this is the last episode, the finale of the animated series.
Chance to say goodbye. I am proud of you all, my X-Men.
Fate lies in our hands now.
We have to stay vigilant. The professor entrusted us with his dream.
No matter how dark it is, we must believe in each other.
At least they're keeping the epic theme song. That's cool.
We get this done by working together as a team.
Jeez, Bob, keep buzzing in my ear.
Heads up!
To me, my X-Men. Magneto.
The last will and testament of Charles Xavier. Everything he built now belongs to me.
There you have it. On the surface, looks pretty good actually.
Looks pretty all right.
They're
awesome.
They're not putting someone else other than Cyclops in charge. He's still the leader of the X-Men. They're still the X-Men and not the X-People, which it could change. But there's a lot that could go wrong with this in a modern day audience. Everything about the X-Men kind of speaks anti-woke messaging, which is ironic because the X-Men were created to be a diverse group of superheroes. It's supposed to be an inclusive group with all these misfits that fit in together. But of course, the term X-Men is outdated, which has been talked about by Marvel Studios, by the way. So, just be aware of that.
The X
they could not.
The X mostly identifying as men, some identifying as women.
They said on Friday Night Tights, they said X them. Yeah. So maybe they'll keep it fine for this, but then they'll bait and switch you for the actual live action introduction of the X-Men. But yeah, on the surface, not too bad. It looks basically like a continuation of the show, and then we got this confirmation. X-Men 97 confirms one character as non-binary in Disney's Plus series. Of course, you had to put something in there. So this character right here, Morph, is non-binary. And he's got a thing.
Was going to be on the guy in the lower right.
That's a girl. That's Kitty Pryde.
Right.
No, the right.
Oh,
right.
that dude. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea who that is, but it does look very diverse. I don't even know who this is, to be completely honest. But yeah. So Morph
out in March
has a little bit of a thing for Wolverine. So in a new issue of Empire magazine showcasing X-Men 97, brief character profiles are given for several of the returning characters. With the shapeshifter Morph is revealed, will feature a lighter take on the character who is non-binary and has an interesting buddy relationship with Wolverine. Establishing Morph as a non-binary is key for the character, obviously, who has never been identified as non-binary in the original show or the comic books. Really? Wow, that's surprising. It is also teased that Morph's past with Mr. Sinister will come into play in some way in X-Men 97. Probably not in a great way. A shape-shifting mutant whose real name is Kevin Sidney. Morph has the ability to take form of anyone, and the character is transformed into both male and female characters. So obviously it makes sense, people.
They just passed over that in the old show. They forgot.
Right. Yeah. This proved useful as a member of the X-Men at the start of the animated series, which also saw the shocking death of Morph in a battle against the Sentinels. Of course, fans will remember how the character was revealed to have survived, having since become a villain with the guidance of Mr. Sinister. Morph would later team back up with the X-Men in the battle against Mr. Sinister, but the trauma from his complicated past prevented the mutant from ever fully integrating back into the group, of course. He really sets the stakes, and he has an interesting relationship with the team because of trauma. Echo.
So he doesn't get along with people because he's non-binary. Trauma.
Yes. Trauma. And only people in the alphabet group can have trauma.
Correct. X-Men
97 showrunner. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Ron Rubin voiced Morph in the original series. He will return. He's taken Rubin turned for the new show, but in the role of President Robert Edward Kelly. There you go. And J.P. Karliak is taking over the role of Morph, probably having a little bit more of a non-binary voice, I imagine.
Hey, guys. I'm so glad to be back here in the X-Men.
So,
I hope you can handle my trauma.
There you go.
Sign me up.
Oh.
He's using that tongue a lot more these days.
Ooh.
All makes sense now.
Look at that face.
Trauma. I got trauma.
He looks
Yep.
like a Scooby-Doo character, like he just got unmasked.
Yeah. And one for you pesky Trump supporters. Yeah. So, yeah, there you have it.
You
It's already
meddling
ruined.
conservatives.
We just got the first trailer and it's already ruined. It's like they want to lose viewership on the opening release of these things. It's like, why would you tell us these things ahead of time? If you want people to watch, and then, they could drop off later. But no, you tell us this. It's like you set expectations, which, fair enough.
Fair enough.
But fair enough. But yeah. So I'm probably going to watch the original series for the first time so I can get my full trauma story of Morph. I bet I've heard great things about the show in all realness. It brought a lot of fans into X-Men. It created a lot of comic book X-Men fans. So it's a big deal in nerdom. It's a great show. And of course, one of the most iconic theme songs of all time for the 90s cartoons. But yet another thing ruined, of course, in other classic cartoon. We have, of course, Batman the Animated Series. Oh, this is still on this topic here. I'm not moving on for you. I was going to say Batman the Animated Series. My favorite cartoon growing up, also basically everybody else in our generation's favorite cartoon growing up, is also getting an updated show on, I think Amazon Prime has it now. It was going to be originally Max, but now it's on Amazon Prime. Another wokeized classic cartoon from our childhood. And this is, of course, produced by J.J. Abrams, so you know exactly what we're getting. So everything we love is being recreated for a modern audience. What were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing that important. But if you look at X-Men, if you look at Wolverine, you can see it looks like two Batman.
Two Batman kissing.
They're kissing.
This is true. Yes. More like Batman Beyond, kind of, but yeah. But yeah, so I got my my Spider-Man shirt on tonight. We are going classic retro 90s. I assume Zach's probably jumping on kind of soon, but screw him. Oh, sorry, The Flash. Oops.
Name drop.
Name drop. So yeah,
hey,
we
producer, cut that.
That's right. Do your job. In kind of light of current events, we decided to talk about to tier rank the classic 90s cartoons. We got a handful right here. So probably not going to be as long as the last tier rank we did. But so we got some classics on the list, only 90s. So there were a lot of 2000 ones I wanted to put in here, which unfortunately did not meet the cut. But we'll start with Rugrats. You guys remember Rugrats?
I do. I was never able to watch Rugrats though.
It's too rude.
It's too rude. It wasn't as rude as what was Arnold or
Hey Arnold.
No, not Arnold. Arthur. Because DW was a little brat, and she always talked back, and we could not. That wasn't.
I was allowed to watch Arthur, but I wasn't allowed to watch Rugrats.
Oh, we watched Arthur too, but I thought Rugrats was a little bit better than Arthur was, as far as that goes. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty high up there. A lot of people watched it. They had several spin-off shows. I know there was the one where they were babies, right? Rugrats Babies, I'm pretty sure.
Aren't they already babies?
They're toddlers.
Yeah.
They can walk. All right. So,
that's why they were Rugrats.
Rough crowd. We're going to throw them up an A for now, just because. Rugrats was a classic 90s cartoon.
It is for classicness. I can see that, but
yeah.
enjoyment.
All right, so I guess the Flash will come on. He's the real 90s baby. He lived through the 90s. we were all born in the 90s, but we didn't really truly live in the 90s. So he'll kind of help us really solidify this list. But this is Gargoyles. It is one I've never watched.
I watched it.
But I've heard great things about it. I heard it doesn't really keep up or like hold up these days, but it's a beloved show certainly. So where would you guys put this one?
I would put that above Rugrats, so I would put it in A. Probably,
I agree.
Personally.
Okay. I didn't put Animaniacs in here, but I know that was kind of another one similar to Gargoyles. But I do not have it on here. All right. Recess. Probably B tier. That one was okay.
Yeah,
it was definitely a popular show, but I wouldn't say it was one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what's the one where it's like slaves built this country? What was that show again? It was the modern rendition of that show. Oh, come on.
Is that The View with
No.
what's her name? Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, Proud Family. Proud Family. Proud Family. You remember Proud Family?
Nope.
I never watched it, but I know.
Oh
what
my
it is,
gosh.
Yeah. No, I know what it is. Yeah.
Literally the youngest one here. I know more 90s references than you guys do.
Listen, man. We had different childhoods.
I guess that's fair. You didn't go see a movie in theaters till you were like middle school, right?
Try high school.
High school. That is insane to me. Yeah. It's a crazy world we live in. Crazy world. No, but I'd say Recess is pretty on par with Proud Family. Those were okay shows. Maybe I'd put it in C tier. Maybe we'll just put it there for now. All right. Getting to some good ones here. We got Superman the Animated Series. I'd probably say it's top A tier. It might end up going in the S tier, but we're going to keep it in A tier for now. Top of the A tier. It wasn't good as its brothers and sisters, So, or I should say brothers. They're all manly shows.
Non-binary siblings.
Non-binary siblings. That just reminded me. There's this. I saw this video on Instagram. This chick's like, or this guy interviewed this girl. He's like, "So you got siblings?" He's like, "No, I got 3 nieces though." He's like, "Wait, sorry, what? You have 3 nieces?" "Yeah, from my brother." "So you do have a sibling?" "No." It's like, oh.
Well,
okay. Yeah, people are stupid.
Weird.
Do. All right. Next, we have Darkwing Duck. Another one I never actually watched, but I know people love that show.
I would put that the bottom of S tier.
Maybe I actually put this.
You
think so? S tier?
Top of A. Put a top of A for now because we don't have anything in S.
I've never seen it, so
it's good.
It was better than Gargoyles.
When did you watch it,
me?
Nick? Because we watched the same shows together.
That was one of those shows that kind of overlapped with Zach a bit.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Where it was older that I was when I was getting into stuff, I would watch it with him.
Yeah.
Then it kind of went out of style.
Yeah.
By the time we were watching together.
Yeah, I never watched that. How did you guys even watch it? Was that on did we have that? Because we didn't really have cable. We didn't have Cartoon Network. Because we had to go to my grandma's house to watch cartoons. Luckily she lives across the street. But we used to watch Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, all the classics over yonder. But we got like CW Kids or something like that. So we got like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We got, of course, like some of Rugrats. Another one that's Dragon Tales. What was it? Johnny Test.
Yes.
Dragon Tales is goated.
Yeah.
Dragon Tales was goated. Yeah. I wish I remember the theme song. That was a classic theme song too.
Hold up.
Dragon
Does
Tales,
Scooby Doo
Dragon
not count as 90s?
No, I think it's 2000s.
What? No.
Really? Like
No,
the
it's,
OG Scooby Doo?
it's got to be 90s.
Scooby Doo original show. 1969.
Whoa, Bill, come on.
Well,
69.
I guess it
Come on.
technically was in the 90s, but it wasn't. It didn't premiere in the 90s. So
Okay.
I mean,
so
same
that's
with like
criteria.
same with like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, all those
Fine.
shows. You know,
I mean, that's fine. Fine, whatever.
if you want to put them in, I'm open to the idea of putting.
No,
them
we
in.
don't. You know what? We don't want to crowd the S tier. That's fine. We don't want to
True,
crowd
that's
the S
true.
tier.
It would be top of S.
As for
I
Scooby-Doo-
watched more of Scooby Doo than any other show in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. Correct.
I would
And
say
I was
Tom
only
and
there for 2
Jerry.
years.
I'd say we probably watch more Tom and Jerry than anything else, though.
Tom and Jerry, Scooby Doo.
I watched more. I think I watched more Scooby Doo than Tom and Jerry.
We
I
watched
don't know, it's
quite
neck
a lot
and
of Scooby Doo. You
Neck
know,
and neck.
another one on here we actually watched, which I'll just do next, is SpongeBob. Randomly, we watched a lot of SpongeBob,
Sure.
which honestly I would put in the S tier.
Is
SpongeBob
mayonnaise an
is
instrument?
Amazing.
Okay.
SpongeBob is
Here's the thing.
influential to our generation.
Yes. No. It is not influential to our generation. It is influential to all generations. Okay. And I'm not saying that as like a joke. Like it's not a joke. Okay?
Not a joke.
This show took over everybody's lives. I mean, you can't name one person who doesn't know what SpongeBob is. And they might not watch it, but everybody knows who that character is. And if they don't, they're probably Patrick Star because they've been living under a rock. Okay.
Yes.
I would debate whether our grandparents know what SpongeBob is, but
No, I would not. I know every grandparent alive today knows who that character is.
my grandma does not know what SpongeBob is. I can almost
Ask
guarantee
her.
that.
We'll have to ask her.
Fine,
Yeah.
I'll ask-
Let's
Ask
bring her on
'cause
the
she'll
show.
be the first person on planet Earth, and maybe the only person on planet Earth who doesn't.
Grandma, do you know what SpongeBob is?
But
What?
no, show her a picture. And be like,
You know
who
what
this
SpongeBob
is.
No.
Anyways,
Is
that alone
mayonnaise an instrument?
Is an instrument.
firmly grasp it in your hand. I will say this show, although I've not seen all of it, is S tier, just purely based on like the effect that it has on the world, like not just generations, the world. Like it's insane.
Yeah. I love
I can
SpongeBob.
agree. I can agree.
It is Simpsons level show, like all the way up there. So as far as iconic and as his impact on culture as a whole. So
Dude, impact on culture is through the roof, man.
it is through the roof, especially the meme culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Which, to
easily
be
S
honest,
tier.
is culture these days. But yeah.
This is true. All right. We got another classic, Batman Beyond, which is S tier for sure, but where does it go?
I'd put it under SpongeBob, but then I'd put the next one above.
I
Sandwich.
love Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond was a continuation of quality as Batman the Animated Series was. It had some quirkiness to it. Like they used Shui. They acted like Shui was the new like cool term to say, which was kind of a dumb term. That's so Shui. But amazing show, really cool concept, and original ideas. And Terry McGinnis is a cool character. And it also brought in good old Kevin Conroy again as Batman, Bruce Wayne. So I don't know, man. I think they're kind of the dynamic duo up there, you know. Not SpongeBob, the other show that'll be up at the very top. I don't know. We can rearrange later. All right. Dexter's Laboratory. I love this show.
Another one that I couldn't watch.
Really? Why?
I don't know.
Too much sneaking around.
I don't know.
Right. Secret Life.
I was too young to know. I just knew I wasn't supposed to watch it.
But better watch out, your kid will have a secret lab in the basement.
Yeah, he'll become a mad scientist.
Yeah, bro. You know, come on.
And start doing, scientific experiments on his sister. All that. No, I don't know Darkwing Duck. Would you say this is better than Darkwing Duck?
I would not say, personally.
Really?
Then again, I didn't watch Dexter's Laboratory that much. I watched Darkwing Duck more.
Okay. Hey, nice avatar, Louis. Why don't we get avatars too?
Hey,
he's gone.
Listen here. It's not my fault you can't upload your own crap.
It is your fault. you have permissions on the settings, and we don't have permissions right now. I blame you.
I would say if I was more interested in a show, it'd be Darkwing Duck. Also, it's like Batman kind of, but Looney Tunes Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. But Dexter's Laboratory. All right, I'll just throw it here for now.
I don't know. I know Zach will agree with me, I think.
I don't even know if Zach watched Dexter's Laboratory, though.
Man, maybe not. I actually think Zach's going to want to put that in his S tier, but...
Powerpuff Girls. You know what's funny, though? Powerpuff Girls was watched by boys more than it was by girls in the 90s. So I wouldn't put it in S tier, but I mean, this show was pretty freaking awesome. We used to watch it. Probably similar. It's hard to remember all these things truly, but because it was so long ago. But I'm pretty sure we watched it just as much as we watched Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah, kind of on and off, not too much, but
I mean that was a classic. That was
Lauren
classic.
loved that show.
Powerpuff Girls is just proof that we'll watch female superheroes if they're done correctly.
There you
Right.
go. And
the strong,
I'd say-
powerful main one can wear a bow and look like a girl.
the true. And the biggest representation of that is Kim Possible, which
Yes,
unfortunately was not a 90s show, but
2002. I just looked it up because I thought of that.
Kim Possible is top tier female action star right there. So, yeah, there was a lot of good, like Justice League Unlimited, Danny Phantom. All those shows were unfortunately. We could do a 2000s one actually. 2000 to 2010. Yeah, Ben 10. What's the other one? Jimmy Neutron. You got Fairly Odd Parents. So many great ones. So we should definitely do a 2000s one sometime. We shall see. Yeah, Powerpuff Girls, I'd say it had a bigger influence. As far as iconic goes, I would probably even put it at the top of A, but if you insist. Spider-Man the Animated Series from the 90s. Now, there's a ton of Spider-Man shows. There was the 80s one, which is honestly the more iconic one, but the 90s one was definitely very iconic. I don't know if we watched a ton of it, to be completely honest, but I know it was really well received. A lot of people really liked it. So I think Zach probably watched this more. And I would actually really like to watch it eventually, but I don't know. I'll just throw it at the bottom of S for now, and Zach can give us his proof. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Everybody loves this show.
I've never watched it,
but I never watched it either.
Me neither.
So I guess we'll put it in D.
Put a new category. Never watched.
Never watched.
Like that's fair, right?
Just make D that. Let's just make D that.
All right.
I got another one maybe to add to that. It's not in your list. I never watched it. It was the tail end of the 90s. Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah.
Never watched
I thought about putting that in there, but I was like, I definitely never watched that show.
Never watched that.
Courage the Cowardly Dog is at least an iconic show. Another one was Dog Cat. You remember Dog Cat?
Oh yeah, I actually do watch that sometimes.
Dog Cat, not Dig Cat. Dog Cat.
Just a bunch of dogs and cats.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah. I remember more like merchandise for Dog Cat than the actual seeing the show. You know.
Yeah. And you're like, how the heck do they poop?
That was always on my mind. I didn't understand. I thought maybe there's a hole, but
shared hole.
But dogs can't eat cat food. Cats can eat dog food, but dogs can't eat cat food. So what happens there? Does their toxicities merge?
Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't want to know about their toxicities.
By the way, our stream, our part 2 stream went down last week because of copyright issues, but we got it back up. So if you haven't gone and watched that yet, go check that out. That was our best. I literally have a bug on my freaking monitor. A box elder bug. That's annoying. Those were our best fight scenes in film and television. So go check that out here on YouTube. It's also on Twitch. So go check it out. What are you waiting for after the show?
Get over there.
Get over there. Of course, you have lots of flicked it away. You have lots of old content of ours to watch. We have tons of gaming streams, so you can go check that out on there. More streams to come soon, of course, in the world of Elden Ring. So, yeah. Anyways, back to the show. The Mighty Ducks. This was a cartoon that was spawned off of the live-action Mighty Ducks movie, which is a hockey movie, and actually created the Anaheim Ducks real-life hockey team. So very influential, I would say, on culture. And, sports fans are nerds too. They're just different kinds of nerds. So multiple nerds were brought together by this program.
That's one I never watched, but I really wish I did. But I heard so many good things about it.
Yeah, I love the movies.
I thought about watching it. I've never watched it either. So this list might inspire me.
Just so people know, like in '93, Disney founded the Anaheim Ducks NHL team, like the actual team.
Right.
So it's iconic because that was really like Disney's foray, like hand reaching out of entertainment into like something else in real world. And it was just kind of cool because it's a movie, right? And then it almost felt like at the time Disney could like make their movies real, because it's like you just made a movie about Anaheim Ducks and now you have an actual team called the Anaheim Ducks. So
and pretty cool logo too.
Oh yeah, the classic Ducks logo is awesome.
It's awesome. That's an example of culture impacting sports in a good way, and then of course we have the modern day take, the Washington Commanders, and also Cleveland Guardians. You also have there were a bunch of people at the Super Bowl saying the Chiefs needed to change their name too. So it probably won't be long before that changes. The last of the greats. I mean, I don't like the Chiefs, but the last of the great names. So, we'll see. And they're coming for the Chicago Blackhawks eventually.
No, they're not touching my Hawks.
Well, they're gonna have a hard time with hockey because hockey is basically like screw off,
Yes,
they'll fight you and take the 5-minute major.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because it's Canadian. So,
listen.
Oh yeah, we'll fight you. Don't you know?
All Canadians are nice until you start trashing hockey.
Until you start trashing hockey
real fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
So All right. Here's another one. The Wild Thornberries. We used to watch that a lot. I think we got that one too here at home. We did not have to go to grandma's to watch that one.
No.
I'd probably say it was better than Rugrats. Probably top of B tier. I said it's pretty fair. We'll probably have to rearrange the A tier a bit. There is a lot going on up there. Then you got Johnny Bravo.
That's one that, looking back, I would say, yeah, that's good. I think in the moment, I probably would have put it in A tier, but looking back, it's like, okay, maybe it wasn't as good.
Yeah, it was I. Johnny Bravo. I mean, that's a classic. All right, that's a classic. Oh, mama. Yes, you did. We totally watched Johnny Bravo.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I don't think we watched it as much as the other ones, but we definitely watched some Johnny Bravo. I mean, it's Johnny Bravo. He's the
come on, man,
the guy.
It's Johnny Bravo.
The man.
I met that guy in the subway. It was 1978.
Was it Vivek?
Hey, Joe. Vivek? Hey, Joe.
I met the French president.
Sorry. I digress.
So before we get to our top contenders here, let's kind of rearrange a bit. Maybe Gargoyles could go top of B tier. Is that?
I would move others before I move that.
Okay. All right.
Next,
maybe
Gargoyles.
I'm just saying, if Zach would back me up.
Yeah, if the Flash was here, but the Flash is not here. He's off saving babies, I guess. But at least he's not putting them in. At least he's not putting them in microwaves, right?
As long as it doesn't do that.
Who would do that? That would be bizarre.
Yeah.
I was actually disturbed by that scene when I saw it. I'm like, what the hell are we watching right now? What a weird movie. All right, fine. Dexter's Laboratory, we'll put it at the top of B tier, if you insist. Superman the Animated Series is very iconic. It definitely it popularized Batmite. It as a villain. It popularized Mr. Miss Blitzflick. Okay, wait, hold on. We're gonna figure out how to say his name. Mr. Mix. See here. Superman the Animated Series.
You think you're pretty smart, don't you?
Look, little guy, I'm tired of this. If it's a fight you want...
Oh, it is!
Fine. First, let me proofread this article, and I'll meet you on the roof in 20 minutes.
No stalling! I'll edit the rag.
This is not the right one. Mr. Says how to say his name. The only way to defeat him is how to say his name backwards. There we go. This is the clip. Come on. Oops, I was on the wrong screen.
Mr. Mixel Plick?
No! Repeat after me, bright boy. It's Mix. Yes. Spit. Lick.
Mr. Mixia Spitlick. There it is. Mixia Spitlick. And of course, he was voiced by what's his face from Aladdin?
Iago,
who's Steven Crowder always did a great impression of him. I don't know why. He's always screaming with the eyes closed.
Such an iconic voice.
A very iconic voice. Yes, Mr. Mixia Spitlick was popularized in this animated series. It's a great show. It's an iconic show. It's and it's in the same universe as Legends, so we can't put that below A tier, at least.
You could
Powerpuff
probably leave
Girls. Yeah, I guess it's fine.
I would move Powerpuff Girls down just because I wasn't as into that. But if you want to keep it up there, that's fine. I know it's iconic.
It is iconic.
Yeah. Lauren really liked it. She loved it.
Oh, well, in that case, we'll just put it on. I think we could maybe rearrange this. Maybe they all deserve to be up here, but I don't know. Does it need to be up there? I've heard it's not as good as everybody thought it was when they first watched it. But
I don't know. I'd be more willing to move Gargoyles down than Duckwing.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I'm trying to save us or stall for time here while the Flash is taking care of a baby. But we'll just do our final two, and if the Flash shows up, then the Flash shows up. If not, oh well. But our final two, we got Batman the Animated Series. Easily top of S tier. There's no arguing that. Any list you ever have, it could have its own S plus tier. Honestly, it deserves it. And of course, we have X-Men the Animated Series. I've never seen it, but I mean, in terms of iconic animated '90s shows, probably right up there with BTAS. So yeah. So let's Spider-Man, does that I mean, do people like that? Is that good? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I love Spider-Man, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I remember watching.
Did you watch the '90s show?
I watched the '90s and the '80s one, the one that.
I know the '80s is the iconic one,
Yeah.
but I don't know if '90s was as iconic as the '80s one or as good.
Honestly, I was so young, so it's a little hard for me to differentiate, but I do remember watching both of them for sure.
Yeah. We were more DC, I think, than Marvel.
Yeah.
Until the MCU really came out.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's pretty good.
I feel like that's good.
That's pretty.
There's one show that came out in '89 that was just missed. Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
I looked that up because I was like, this has got to be in the '90s because I remember it so well. '89.
Yeah.
And you know they did a remake of it with who was it?
John
Mulaney and Andy Samberg. Or Chippendale, and I didn't watch it, but I didn't hear bad things about it.
I didn't hear
I like
anything
both
about
those
it.
guys, so
Could be a good thing.
yeah. So yeah, there you have it, folks. There is our '90s animated cartoon extravaganza tier maker list, and we will be doing a 2000 cartoon eventually. But
you know what we should do next time?
Yeah.
Next time is we should actually work towards watching some of these.
I can't promise that.
well, no. I mean, obviously, but it's going to take a little time to throw them out. But like, at least like have people watch like 2 or 3 of them. Not at least some of them watch all of them. But like at least cover most majority, so then people can actually argue for some
2000 shows. I can argue a lot more than '90s shows.
Right, yeah, and that's fair. I know it sucks that we couldn't have Zach in here for this because he probably would have been way better at this than us because he's older than us.
We're not like, a lot of these nerds.
A lot of these we remember a lot, and I think the ones that we remember the most are the ones at the top because they deserve to be there. That's just how iconic they are.
Yeah.
You know, like SpongeBob. You know, we talked about that. I mean, the fact that was created in the '90s and it's like technically, I think, still running today.
Still going. Yeah, it's like Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly, like Simpsons. But then you've got X-Men, which is having 97, which is supposed to be the next iteration of the original. And then you've got BTAS, Batman Beyond. Like those stand the test of time. And I think that's why they're an S tier. And even if you weren't born in the 90s or close to the 90s, the chances are you still found these shows and loved them. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
But there you go, guys. We will not be here next week. We will be back in 2 weeks with lots to talk about, I'm sure, because lots of things are coming out very, very soon. And who knows? Maybe I'll see Madam Web before then. Who knows? And maybe, just maybe, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree will be out by then. So, maybe we'll have some extra streams here and there. I certainly will be probably most likely streaming at least most of what I do in that game. There might be some off stream, sneak in a little
shenaniganery
sections, But yeah, go check out our links in the description. Apparently, YouTube is cracking down on links now, so just use our link tree to go to all our links in there. But yeah, they don't like us sharing other links on their platform. Imagine that, freaking YouTube. So go to our link tree. You can find several things there, such as possibly our Discord server or maybe even Twitch.
Wow,
maybe, as well as our social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that jazz. And go check out our past streams here on YouTube or Twitch if you're watching over there. And look out for more gaming streams and more video or new videos coming out very soon. Hint, hint, pirate related. So, yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah. So with that, we will catch you guys next time. Peace.
See ya.
Peace.